Hey Omish ones, how's it been going? How's this quarantine been treating you? I hope you're doing all right. Today I want to talk about the heart opening poses. I talked about them a little in one of my previous videos, and I'll put a link to that up above. These poses help us to get really centered in our heart space and to, I think, better give and receive love. Not just romantic love, but just to be able to be more open and present to the people that we interact with in our day-to-day lives. So that can be really helpful. It also helps to relieve some of the tension in the neck and shoulders, which I think a lot of us tend to carry. If you're like me and you're staying home with a family, or you're quarantining at home as much as possible in order to be safe and avoid the spread of this virus, let's just imagine there's like a vibratory field pertaining to our heart chakra, or we call it the heart, but it's like the emotional resonance of our being. And imagine that we can get that vibrating and humming and really harmonious. It helps us with our emotional availability. When we meet new people, we can feel more courageous, more interested even, more playful in our interactions with new people, more able to kind of really learn about and get to know someone. And the same goes for people that you've known for a long time, like maybe someone you've known since childhood, or one of your own children, someone that you live with. You can't always know everything about someone, regardless of how long you've known them. There's always something kind of new to find out about them. There's a new side to them that you haven't been aware of. Or maybe there's even something about yourself that you have yet to learn. And in focusing on your heart chakra and opening through your heart center, you can open yourself up to discover those things about yourself that you're ready to learn. Working in these poses can always help us to get to know ourselves even better, and that's always a good thing. So I also want to start out with just a basic heart opening yoga routine / warm up, and then I'll use the basic props for that, like a strap, and I'll probably also use this yoga wedge. And then after we're all nice and warmed up and we want to explore a little further, I'll show a difference between the before and afters of just like some of the more intense heart opening poses, like Ekapada Raj Kapotasana, the king pigeon pose. We'll do some work with the yoga wheel, and then we'll try some of those more intense heart opening poses again and see if it makes a difference. And I can do some before and after comparison shots and just talk about how it feels to use it and how it enhances the yoga practice. Those of you who asked how my husband's doing, thank you. So I know a lot of you watched my last video and you saw that we were hoping he could get surgery because the cancer had spread to his bladder. We definitely got confirmation that it had. He was able to get the surgery that he needed, and they did fly us via air ambulance to a hospital in LA, Los Angeles, and I stayed there with him for, I think, 3 nights, and then they let us know that they decided to enforce a no visitors policy, and so they actually told me that I had to go ahead and rent a car and go home the next day. So it was pretty devastating. I didn't want to leave him there, especially like the day before his major surgery. And I had no choice. I had to just drive home. But on the other hand, it was kind of good because I missed home and missed my kids and my dogs. Oh, my hands are so dry from all this hand washing. So Got home. He had the surgery. I got a couple calls throughout the day, starting around like noon, from some various surgeons telling me they were done with their part and they were sending in a different team to do a different part. And like, I don't know, it went on. It lasted for hours. I'm not sure. I think they finally told me around 6 p.m. that he was done, and then I didn't hear anything for a long time. And it was just really hard to not be there with him to help him through the recovery period like I was for his last big surgery. And then I got a call at 3 a.m. I was sound asleep, and my phone rings, and I picked it up, and it was my husband, and he said that he'd been in a level like 10 pain. Worst pain you can imagine since he got out of surgery, like at 6 p.m. or whatever. And that he had just been singing the baby songs since he had woken up. And I said, well, what are the baby songs? And he said, the songs that we sang to our kids when they were babies. Could you sing with me? So I ended up being on the phone with him for an hour, singing baby songs. This little baby, he's a wonderful baby. This little baby, he's a wonderful boy. This little baby, he's a wonderful baby. He's a wonderful boy. He's a really good boy. He's a beautiful boy. So I wish I could have been with him in person over his recovery, but he said that the phone call did help get him through the worst of it, and he did say that it helped a lot with his pain levels. And I don't know what happened. I wish that they could have done better with the anesthesia. Somebody dropped the ball on that one big time. The last thing that I said to his doctors and surgeons before I left the hospital was, please make sure you maintain his pain level at a reasonable level. Like, please make sure that he's not in severe pain.
Oh, yeah, we've got that.
And then what happens? He's hours and hours post-surgery at a level 10. So, if I had been allowed to stay, maybe I could have communicated that and advocated for him on his behalf and got him some better pain relief for this cancer surgery. And then what they ended up doing, because they called me the next morning at like 9 or 10, and they said,
yeah, your husband looks pretty miserable. We're going to give him a epidural.
Which is what they give, as many of you probably know, to women who are giving birth to a child. I didn't have an epidural in my 3 childbirths. I did it natural, but it's like that level of pain, like control. So at any rate, the epidural did finally help get him out of pain, and then he had that in for 48 hours, and he did somewhat better in his recovery after that. And I understand the reasons for not allowing visitors. I understand that the healthcare, the frontline workers, need to protect themselves from coronavirus and such. But at the same time, I am my husband's primary caregiver, and I'm not just a visitor. And also, I'd been there with him. I'd been in the hospital with him for several days, and I hadn't really even had any contact with any other people other than going out to the park and then back upstairs. But and if they had imposed a rule that if I wanted to stay, I wasn't allowed to leave the hospital room anymore, I would have signed a paper. I would have, complied with that, just to be able to stay with him and get him through. But regardless, he did make it. I think it was harder on all of us in a way because of that rule, because of me having to leave. Anyway, there's nothing I can do about it now. It's in the past, and we just want to move forward. And he did make it through, and they sent him home. He did recover. He is still recovering, but he made it home, thank God, and he's been able to be with his family again. and the kids were all great, happy to see him. It's been great having him home, and he's been able to play his music and stuff. But thanks for checking in on him, those of you who have, and yeah, thanks for caring about our family situation. I know it's been a tough time for a lot of people. It's a big adjustment, just getting used to being home a lot more and, not going about our usual routine. It's a big change for a lot of people. Not everyone's an introvert either. And so, it's kind of hard for people not to be able to go out and hang with friends all the time and be social. I hope this video can help you with that by helping you get some yoga movement in your day and helping you to just uplift your heart and uplift your spirits. All right, so let's get going. Let's get on the mat and do some yoga. All right, so we'll walk over to the mat and we'll start out by bringing the hands to the heart. Take a deep inhale. And we'll lift the hands up into upward salute. Lower the hands down to the hips and start to turn the body, twist the body side to side, tapping the sides with the hands. Just think of it as a soft cleansing of the auric field. Just getting the energy moving, getting the blood circulating. And we can take that same motion down to the floor, kind of sweep the floor with it. Take it back up, let it be a little bit intuitive, shake it out, start to shake off any stale or stagnant energy that you might be holding on to. Someone in the family knocked on my door, so I opened the door and let the dogs in. Had a couple questions for me. I feel kind of bad because my little dog gave me her happy to see me greeting and I just ignored her. I was very focused on this video. I made it up to her later. I gave her lots of snacks. And my daughter was speaking to me behind the door. And once we got our business taken care of, one dog wanted back out and the other wanted to stay, so I went ahead and closed the door. I was feeling the cactus arms today during this practice. You'll see me do cactus arms a few times. And now I'm just rocking my head, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. If you're comfortable in your neck and upper cervical spine, you can take that all the way around in a circle. And I was playing around with some shoulder openers, just some gentle warm-ups for the shoulders, circling through the arms, circling back. Anything that I demonstrate in this video, if it doesn't feel right for your body, you're free to do something else or to opt out altogether. You can always rest in child's pose or just sit and observe until you're ready to jump back in. So make it your own. And let your body be your guide. Do what feels right for your body. So we're going to go ahead and come to the front of the mat. Inhale and lift the hands up high and arc slightly back. On an exhale, we'll bend the knees and fold forward. We'll step back one leg at a time down to both knees into our tabletop pose. And we're just going to make sure that the hands are lined up under the shoulders and the knees are lined up under the hips before we go into our cat-cows. Our Bidalasanas. Inhale to lift the heart, lift the head and tailbone. Exhale to round the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale to round. And we can also bring some intuitive movement here into our spinal warm-up section. Circling, rolling through the body. Maybe bringing a slight spinal twist in through these circles. You can roll through your head and neck, roll around through your hips, Let it be intuitive, make it your own, and you can rock back, let your ankles pop out in front, and come on, or however you get there, come to your seated posture, your easy seated posture. You can bring hands to your lap. And we'll do a few of our seated cat-cows. Inhale, rock forward, exhale, round back. And we can also draw this into a few great big, slow and controlled circles. Circle in both directions. Come on back to center. You can close your eyes. Start to draw your attention inward even further. Set an intention for your practice. You can bring one hand onto the belly, and we're going to start some deep diaphragmatic belly breaths. And so you'll feel your hand pulsing or lifting on the inhale and pulling in toward the spine on the exhale. I was breathing quickly here. And bringing the hands back to the lap. A few more. Breath of fire. Another big cleansing breath. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, lower down. And then we'll circle a few times here. So bringing the hands up and lowering down. We'll tilt forward and tilt back on to our tabletop. We'll lift the right leg up and back, draw it in a few circles. You can move through your spine as well. Change sides. Inhale, lift, exhale to circle. And now we'll also incorporate the opposite arm to that leg into this little flow. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, rounding. It's a little challenge to the balance. It just brings in awareness all the way through the limbs, the fingers and toes. We'll slide the knees back a little bit behind the hips, and we'll start to sway forward and back, finding this slow wave-like motion. Lowering the hips down and coming up to an upward facing dog or a baby cobra. You can hang out with the heart center up between the thumbs. Your knees can be down if that's more comfortable for you. We can zip the legs together like a mermaid tail and press into the tops of the feet with the toenail side down on the mat, lifting the knees off the mat, coming into a full upward dog. And then press up into a plank pose, a high plank. Engaged at the core, strengthening through the arms. I just read a story about someone who held a plank for 18 hours. I'd be lucky if I can do it for 18 minutes. It's a good all-over body strengthening pose. And now we'll lower back down to the knees. Once again, upward facing dog, or you can choose your baby cobra if that's more in your practice for you today. Now we'll lower down onto the forearms, and then we'll come into this extended puppy dog pose, lowering the heart to the earth. Also referred to as heart chakra pose. The chin can be touching down onto the mat, or maybe it doesn't, and that's okay too. Sometimes it also can help to widen the arms. Widen the stance of the arms can help you get lower with the chest and heart. stay and breathe. Try to rest in the pose as much as you can. Let it be passive. And then we'll bring the forearms back so that the elbows line up under the shoulders. Tuck the toes and walk the toes in toward the elbow. Try that one more time. Set it up. Tuck the toes. Inhale. On the exhale, walk the toes forward. Try to press the heels down toward the mat. They may not touch. You may remain on the toes. That's okay. Just rolling a little bit through the neck, and then I'm going to walk the knees back and lower the hips down. Coming into the Sphinx pose, just lifting the heart, letting the neck be long, gazing forward, breathing. Rising back up to tabletop, hands, knees. Pressing up into our first downward facing dog. I'm using the yoga wedge behind my heels just because that helps me to get my heels down and feel what it feels like to have heels pressing on something in down dog. I like it. Press the floor away from you with your hands. Ears hang out in between the biceps. Press the heart toward the wall behind you. Now we'll walk the hands back. We can bend the knees here. We can find our way into this hanging forward bend. Feet still hips distance apart. We can grasp elbows, sway side to side. I stepped off the wedge at this point because it was throwing me off balance slightly. Continue your side to side swaying motion. Inhale and lift up. Go ahead and walk back towards the top of the mat. Inhale and lift, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale and lower the hands beside the hips. I'm turning to face you just so you can see me from the front. Standing pose, closing the eyes, bringing the energy inward. Rooting down into the earth energy, letting that energy rise all the way up through the body, all the way up through the fingertips. Exhaling, cactus arms, hands beside the hips. Hands to the heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive. Lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step one leg back at a time, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out if you like. Usually stay for about 5 breaths. You can bring a deeper sway into the pose, swaying the body side to side as you pedal. After about 5 breaths, look up between the thumbs and take a walk up toward the top of the mat back into your halfway lift. Exhale and fold forward. Little sway once again. Inhale and lift it up. Reverse the swan dive. Hands meet at the top. Slight arch through the spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. That was our first sun salutation. Surya Namaskara A. And we'll inhale and lift the hands for another sun salutation. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, upper lift. Exhale, step the right leg back, knee down. Inhale, lift up into your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Feel that stretch through the iliopsoas, front body stretch. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Knee lowers down and we'll lower knees, chest, and chin to the floor.
Inhale into upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing. Inhale the right leg forward, back to our Anjaneyasana on the other side. Exhale, frame the front facing foot. Inhale into our halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse the swan dive, lift it back up, slight arch through the spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. Time for the other side. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step the left leg back, knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Arch through the spine, stretch through the front body, the hips, the iliopsoas. Exhale, frame the front foot, step the right foot back. Knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot forward, right knee down. Lifting up into our low lunge. Lower a little more with the hips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse the swan dive. Slight arch to the spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. Another round of sun salutations to warm up the body. Inhale into chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale the right leg forward. Inhale into warrior one. Exhale and fold forward, frame the front facing foot, step the right leg back. Vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step both feet forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left leg back. Inhale, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, step back to plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. And we'll step forward into warrior one. Step back into a vinyasa. Inhale into a halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach it up. Back to chair pose. And exhale, hands to the heart. This time we step right back to downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. Downward dog. Just breathing here, pressing into the ledge or the floor with the heels. And we'll come on to a kneeling pose. And we'll just circle through the hips with the hands on the hips. Just checking in with the lower back, the spine. How's it feeling? How's it doing? I'll press the hips forward with the thumbs on the sacrum. And lean back. We'll rotate the right arm back. And then the left arm to make contact with the heels behind. Using heels as support, lift the heart. We'll come on out the opposite way, one hand at a time. We'll come back to a seated posture, or a lotus if you like a lotus. Lower down onto the forearms and just lean back. Rise back up. See if you can bring the palms behind you and lift the hips off the mat. You can try that a couple times. And now, to counteract some of the back bends that we've been doing, we'll just do like some simple spinal twists with a little bit of a flow to them, circling through the arms. Extend the feet out forward, tap the legs into the yoga mat, shake through the feet. Lower down onto the forearms, and just lift the heart here. And we'll lower down all the way, and move to my wedge. And draw the feet up close to the hips. Press into the feet, lift the hips up high. Walk the shoulder blades underneath yourself, underneath you. Clasp the hands together. Don't crunch your neck, let there be space through the neck. Breathe here in your bridge pose. Inhale and lift the hands up high overhead. On the exhale, slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time. And bring in the right knee towards the chest. Ankle over the left knee. Thread the needle. Left ankle over right knee. Bring the hands around to the front of the knee. Or thread the needle, your choice. Circle that whole leg shape to stretch the piriformis, the outer hips. Let's grab a pillow. And have our strap nearby. We'll come on to hands, knees. Down dog. Just a really slow pedal. Inhale and lift left leg and then bring it forward. The heel comes in toward the groin. Toes are tucked on the right leg. I'm going to bend the right leg and wrap the strap around the right ankle. Grasp the strap with the right hand. Meanwhile, with the left hand, we'll grab our pillow and place it under our sit bones. Right hand is holding onto the strap. Whoops. Sometimes this takes a few attempts. Start out in a downward facing dog. Inhale and lift the left leg. Exhale and bring it forward with the heel in toward the groin. And I place my pillow under the sit bones. With the right hand, I reach back, actually with both hands. I twist the body back. Secure the strap around the top of the foot, right in the center. Right hand is holding onto the strap. I turn the torso forward, square the hips, flip the grip with the strap and then reach the left hand back as well to grasp the strap. Stay there and hold and breathe. Ekapada Rajkapotasana. Strap with the left hand, wrap it around the top of the foot, right in the center. Pillow under sit bones, turn the torso forward, and start to find my way into that heart opening, centered, balanced, squared hips, legged king pigeon pose. Feels a little different from one side to the other. Stand on one foot with that foot really grounded, lift the other, wrap the strap around the lifted foot with the bent knee. Stand there and get centered, and then as you feel ready to flow into it, find your way. See if you can lean the heart forward, lift the leg a little higher, and breathe. You can see that I need a lot of work in this pose, I need a lot of practice. But it's a fun one to try. Here I lied down on the mat. I decided to attempt my first chakrasana or wheel. So I brought the hands near my ears with the fingers pointing toward the shoulders, feet hips distance apart near the hips. Setting it up. Take an inhale. Exhale, press into the hands, bring the top of the head to the mat. Take another breath here. Inhale, press up. You can see that my wheel also needs work. My arms are very much bent. Did a little supine spinal twist to counteract all the back bends. Came on back to sitting. Now I decided to try the yoga wheel. This isn't sponsored or anything. This is just something that I got for myself at the beginning of the year, just to see if it could enhance my yoga practice, and I do think that it has. First, I just got on the wheel and played with rolling around with it placed in my lower back, lower to mid back. Rolling back and forth, reaching the hands back. I'm still working on figuring out how to keep my body in frame when I'm filming myself for these YouTube videos. So you've probably noticed parts of my body going out of frame from time to time. So this time I decided to work on the upper back, the mid to upper back, because that's the part that I feel tends to close down or round and needs to be opened. And so I played with leaning back on that, extending the arms overhead, reaching arms up and back behind, trying to touch the ground behind me. It almost feels like a myofascial release exercise, which is good and improves flexibility, so it does feel and seem like it's improving flexibility of my upper spine, which really needs it. So if you don't have a yoga wheel, it's not a requirement for a yoga practice. It's not at all mandatory, but it does feel nice to have. It's a nice tool to incorporate into your yoga practice. feels really good to work on the yoga wheel. This is a major heart opener. When you're ready to come down, sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to come down gracefully. Just do your best. To try it with bent knees, sort of a modified hero pose. Sometimes on the wheel it feels like the arms are just floating in the air and you're not quite sure what to do with the hands and the arms. There's not really a point to anchor them. It can be very pleasant to work with the yoga wheel. This one is a tranquil yogi. Supine spinal twists. Counteracting all those back bends. Wanted to try my wheel one more time after working on the Tranquil Yogi yoga wheel. See that my back bend was a little bit improved at this point versus the first one. My arms were a little straighter. Still not perfect though. We're back in our setup for bridge. Again, walk the shoulder blades underneath the body. Clasp the hands under the tailbone, press the forearms into the mat. To help lift a little higher. I felt a lot more open and spacious in that bridge than I did in the first. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Now we'll come back to standing, this time holding the strap, and we're going to try that dancer pose on the other side. So, wrap the strap around the upper part of the right foot. Flip the grip. Grasp the strap with both hands. Lean forward if you can. I don't know, I think I was fatigued at this point. My spine felt pretty open, but I was just having trouble with balancing. Wrap the strap around the front of the left foot. Grasp the strap with the left hand. Focus the gaze on something in front of you. Find your way. Lift the heart as much as you can. Lift the leg behind you as much as you can. come to a seated posture. We'll just get ready to conclude today's heart-opening practice. We'll tap the legs into the mat and shake the feet. Onto the spine, just softly, smoothly rocking through the spine. Set up the legs for our spinal twist and twist to one side. Change the leg setup. The heel comes to the outer hip, the ankle to the outside of the knee. Inhale and lift the arms, exhale and twist, anchoring that elbow to the outside of the standing up knee. You can open up the hands so that the back hand comes near the base of the spine, or you can keep the hands anchored at the heart. Come on out of the twist. And we'll just lift the hands and the feet up into a Navasana for some nice core work. Balance with the sacrum as the fulcrum. Fulcrum sacrum. Back to center. We'll bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Inhale and lift up high. Exhale and fold forward. You can grasp anywhere on that left leg. Changing sides. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Stay and breathe. You can massage the muscles through the extended leg. Tap, shake it out. Circulation through the limbs. We'll sit up tall in Dandasana. Inhale and lift both hands. Exhale and fold forward. You can grasp the feet or anywhere on the legs that you can anchor, or you can just rest your hands down on the floor. Think about stretching the spine forward as well as the legs stretching. And now we'll scoot the pelvic region forward. We'll lie back on the yoga mat and let the hands and feet fall open. Allow ourselves to feel very heavy and calm. And just let all that hard work fall away. Take a few slow, soft breaths with the eyes closed. Allow yourself to feel very calm, very safe. And just know that this deep, safe, quiet, relaxed, meditative space is one that you've created for yourself. And you can go there at any time you need to. It belongs to you, and no one can take it away from you. When you're ready to come out, you can roll softly to one side, rest on that side for a while, before coming back up to your seated posture.
So I wanted to give you a really quick, sweaty post-workout review of my Manduka mat that I unboxed in a previous unboxing video. And I said I would review it. And I think now's as good a time as any because I've been using it for a couple of months. Yeah, so a quick review. I love it. It's awesome. I mean, it's the best yoga mat I've ever had. The only thing that could be maybe improved is it's slightly on the thin side. Of course, I knew the thinness before I bought it because it is a light. It's a Manduka Pro Light, this one. And so I know it's not as thick as the Pro. But other than that, it's been wonderful. There's like no slippage. It's a great grip. It just, yeah, it feels really solid and like comforting, if that makes sense, to practice on. I feel good practicing on it. And yeah, lots of good vibes. So thumbs up review on this yoga mat. And I felt like spending time on the yoga wheel definitely did like enhance my heart opening poses, my back bends, especially the wheel pose, the chakrasana. Definitely helped me get into that with more ease and hold it longer and get my arms straighter. And so that was pretty exciting. I like that effect that this has, and you can spend some time hanging out doing almost passive yin poses on this, and it'll help you in your more active heart opening poses. And then as far as the dancer pose, I'm not totally sure if it helped. I did seem to be a little bit more open and able to flow into those with a little bit more ease, but I think in general I need just more practice with that. My front body wasn't quite open enough, so it wasn't just the spine, it was also some front body stuff, so I probably need to do more like low lunges and anjanyasanas to get really easily into Natarajasana. All right, well, thanks. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Namaste, Omish ones.